Hello, I'm just making a video about writing, and let me just turn this light on, see if it's clearer to see me. That's better, you can see me! Okay, I'm making a video about novel writing in this video. Now, my experience is that I've written 4 novellas and 1 novel, so I have written quite a bit, and this video is just a little bit about some of the advice I would give to people, and some of the advice that I think is important. Okay, I'm sorry that I ramble a bit, but I need to work on my technique for these videos, so bear with me. It won't be a super long video. Okay, so when you're writing a novel, um, first of all, have a look at the lengths you want to pitch at. So say if you're writing a science fiction novel, it's going to be different from a crime novel. If it's your first book, it can be difficult, it can be easy. You might find that sometimes my first novel, well, it was a novel originally that I wrote. It kind of was just like, it was kind of like an energy inside me, like I'd wanted to write a novel of this genre for so long, since I was young, and it was kind of like it just wrote itself in some ways. And sometimes you'll find this, perhaps, or you might, there's, sorry, this is my Facebook, um, and sometimes you'll find different techniques. There are so many techniques to writing a novel. On Kindle or on the Amazon bookstore, there are books on how to write a novel. These can be really helpful in preparing you for your journey. Now, so have a look at length. Look up Writer's Digest. I'll link up to my Facebook, and you can ask, not my personal Facebook profile, but my Facebook page for writing, and you can ask me any questions you want on this video. If you need any links or anything to any writing resources, anything I know of, I will be like, sure, that's there. Da, 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 da. Alright, so look up the length. Right, a voice. When you're writing, your voice is what makes it unique. So the more you practice writing, the stronger your voice gets. Like, for an example, I love Anne Rice. I think she is a wonderful writer. I think she is, you know, if she was a singer, she would be Mariah Carey, she'd be Whitney Houston. She is brilliant, in my opinion. Now, she has a strong voice. Somebody else, Stephen King, has a different voice. J.K. Rowling has a different voice. I'm just giving some examples of bestsellers, just people where everyone probably knows. The voice is one of the things that makes a piece of writing it distinct, and so work on your voice, work on being your unique. Don't push it, just do your best, and you'll find your own voice. It's not something you're going to consciously work on all the time, and don't stress it. But this is a thing. Sorry, this video is quite amateur, but I just wanted to put some things out. I've written some notes, and I'm just talking from the top of my head, having a little ramble about writing, and hopefully I can help somebody with this video and probably be like, wow, this is video. Is that adding a bit of humour there? Okay, so allocate some time. If you're working a full-time job, maybe on the weekends you could allocate an hour a week to start with. Work on getting a few chapters down and just chug at it. It might take you 5 years, it might take you 3 months, you don't know, and you might have a novel, you might end up with something else. Sometimes when I've tried to write a novel, I haven't ended up with a novel. I've ended up with short story, a novella, something, and these are all wonderful forms of art. So love art, and that will help you, because it's like anything. A painter might want to paint something, and they think, no, this is something completely different. That's part of the art. read a lot. This is what writers tell me: read a lot, because reading a lot makes you see things in writing. Now, another thing I really recommend is audiobooks. When I a couple of books that I've read on paperback, I've then bought the audiobook years later, and I can see so many things in the pace, the tone, just things about that book and the way it's written that you might not notice when you're reading it for enjoyment. And it's a different way of enjoying it, but you might not notice little things that can teach you a lot about writing and tone and voice. Okay, so I'm just rambling a little bit because I'm trying to just talk about a few things. So when you finished your novel, um work on it, leave it for a while, work on a second draft. Um, Make sure you self edit, and if you're going to send it to a literary agent or you're going to self publish, look these things up on Google, look up other videos on these things. I would recommend saving up or getting an editor. Look shop around, because you want your book to be the best it can be. If it's professionally edited, it's gonna stand more of a chance of getting a literary agent. And also, I personally get my books edited because I feel more better about them being on Amazon there. I've self-published a novel, and I'm so much happier knowing it's being edited. My first editor that I ever had did a few things that would really helped me as a writer, but I found an editor that really works for me, and I'm hopefully going to stay with them for a long time. Okay, try reading books on writing. If it's a hobby, it's something that you're interested in. Um, you can buy some books and magazines. If you're in the UK, Writers Forum and Writing Magazine are two really good magazines from W.H. Smith's. I've learned a lot about writing from them. I found out about things, writing events, writing resources that have really, really helped me. I think if you're in America, it's Writer's Digest and Writers and Poets. I really, really want to get a subscription of Writers and Poets, because when I was in the States, I was trying to find it everywhere, and I was like, I want to read Writers and Poets. Well, I tried to find it in the mall, and I couldn't find it, and I was like, ah. And then I tried to find it in this bookstore, and I couldn't find it, and yeah. So yeah, but I will subscribe to it eventually for a year, just a year subscription, because I would just like to see the different things that's in that magazine. They have an MFA edition, and I think that would be quite interesting to look at, and very, very much so. I keep trying. Now, before I wrap up this ramble, which is a total ramble, and I apologise for that, I'll try and make some more videos about some of the topics that I've just touched upon, and talk about them in a little bit more depth and stuff. Obviously, I'm not an expert. I'm just somebody wanting to put some information out into the onto YouTube and having a go at that. So what was I say? If you have a story inside you, or you're fascinated by a genre, this is a good place to start. When I wrote one of my books, The Immortal Door, as a vampire novella, I love vampire stuff. I love I've loved Dracula. I've loved loads of stuff. Obsessed with Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and since I was 8 years old, I've been watching vampire programs, and I just wanted to write my own take on the vampire. And I've written two novellas on this genre. Now I wouldn't enjoy writing a vampire novella because I've done that, but for years and years, I that genre was like, it was just like I had to write that genre. I just had to. It was like something I would always wanted to do. It was on my bucket list. And yeah, definitely. Find stories within you. One of my novel is based on is a fantasy novel, but it's based on things that I've also experienced in my life. I've taken that, mixed it with the realism events and the realistic events in my novel. It's set in a small town in England. The realistic events in my novel are inspired by things that have happened in my life, and the fantasy elements in a parallel world are inspired by imagination, but they're also inspired by mythology. And you can be inspired by so many things, and you can experiment with your writing. Now, another thing I would recommend if you're trying to write a novel, trying to write some short stories. When I first wrote my first attempt at a novel, which or when I started writing, I pretty much started with the novel, and I did all right. I managed to write a 66,000 word manuscript, and it needed some work and stuff. But that was me. But I read a book on writing by quite a famous author, and they recommend starting with short stories. Short stories are a really good way to learn a lot about writing, and also you can get them critiqued quite easily, because if something's 1,000 words or 3,000 words, easier to critique than this big manuscript. So that's some more advice to give to you. Please in the comments, please be nice and don't be too horrible. But please ask me anything that you would like me to talk about more in depth from my own ideas on writing that you like me to talk about, and that you would like for the next video. So if you would like me to talk more about self-publishing, or literary agents, or practicing writing, anything, just give me a bell, because I want to make a page about writing. And I know I've rambled, but I hope you've enjoyed my ramble. If you have, like this video. If you haven't, don't like it, put a dislike. If I get too many dislikes, I will delete it. So be warned. Okay, well, have a nice day, and I wish you all the best in your creative writing and your novel, short story, whatever you're writing. Okay, have a nice day. Bye. Wait. Pause.